The American West, 1857. A time when the horizon seemed endless, and the promise of new beginnings drew many to its vast expanse. A vast and untamed land beckoned with promises of opportunity and a fresh start. The plains stretched out like an ocean of grass, with distant mountains standing as silent sentinels. Families packed their belongings, their hopes hitched to sturdy wagons rolling westward. They left behind the familiar, driven by dreams of prosperity and a better life. Among them was the Baker-Fancher wagon train, a group of determined souls, united by a common goal. They sought fortune in California, their dreams painted on the canvas of the setting sun. Each sunset symbolized another day closer to their promised land. Little did they know, their path would soon intersect with destiny in the most tragic of ways. The journey was arduous, the terrain was unforgiving, and every step forward was a testament to their resilience. The pioneers faced scorching heat and biting cold, their spirits tested by every mile. The weather was relentless, swinging from one extreme to another, challenging their endurance. They persevered, their dreams a beacon in the wilderness. Their determination was unwavering even as the wilderness seemed to conspire against them. But danger lurked on the horizon. The sky often mirrored their fears, dark and foreboding, hinting at the trials yet to come. Unbeknownst to them, they were entering a land simmering with religious fervor and political tension, a land called Utah. Here, the clash of beliefs and the struggle for power created an atmosphere thick with uncertainty and potential conflict. Utah Territory, a refuge for the Latter-day Saints, a community forged in the fires of persecution. Led by Brigham Young, they carved out a life in the arid landscape, their faith an unyielding shield. Yet their isolation bred suspicion, a siege mentality hardening their resolve against the outside world. Rumors of federal interference fueled their anxieties, casting a long shadow over their newfound Zion. The arrival of the Baker-Fancher party, outsiders with their own beliefs and aspirations, stirred unease within the Mormon community. Whispers of these Gentiles being spies or agitators spread like wildfire. Fear and distrust poisoned the air, creating fertile ground for tragedy to take root. As the Baker-Fancher train made its way through southern Utah, the vast and unforgiving landscape stretched out before them, a testament to their courage and determination. These pioneers, seeking a new life in the West, were unaware of the dark clouds gathering on the horizon. Whispers of conflict reached the ears of local Mormon leaders. These whispers were not just idle gossip but carried the weight of fear and suspicion, hinting at the brewing storm that threatened to engulf the region. Fueled by paranoia and a dangerous mix of religious fervor and territorialism, a plan began to take shape. The leaders, driven by a desire to protect their community and their faith, saw the emigrants as a potential threat to their way of life. The militia, a citizen army sworn to protect the Mormon state, was mobilized. These men, ordinary citizens turned soldiers, prepared for a confrontation that would forever alter the course of history. Their target, the unsuspecting travelers. The emigrants, focused on their journey and the challenges of the road, had no inkling of the danger that loomed so close. Adding another layer of complexity to the unfolding tragedy, the Paiute Native Americans were drawn into the escalating tensions. Their involvement was not straightforward, as they were caught between their own survival and the manipulations of the Mormon leaders. Some historical accounts suggest that Mormon leaders manipulated the Paiutes, exploiting existing grievances to incite them against the emigrants. This manipulation added a tragic dimension to the already volatile situation, pitting neighbor against neighbor. However, the extent of Paiute involvement in the planning and execution of the massacre remains a subject of debate among historians. The true nature of their role is shrouded in mystery, with conflicting accounts and interpretations adding to the complexity of this dark chapter in American history. The Baker-Fancher party, oblivious to the danger lurking in the shadows, sought respite in a verdant valley known as Mountain Meadows. It seemed like an idyllic haven, a welcome reprieve from their arduous journey, but paradise would soon transform into a scene of unimaginable horror. Without warning, gunfire shattered the tranquility. The wagon train, caught completely off guard, scrambled for cover. Men, women, and children alike were caught in the crossfire. Their dreams turned to dust in the blink of an eye. The initial attack was swift and brutal, leaving the travelers reeling in shock and terror. Section 5. A desperate stand courage against the odds. Despite the sudden and overwhelming attack, the emigrants fought back with remarkable courage and resilience. They circled their wagons, forming a makeshift fortress against the onslaught. Men grabbed their rifles, determined to protect their families. Women and children huddled within the encircled wagons, their terror echoing through the valley. For days, the siege continued. The emigrants, outnumbered and outgunned, held their ground against the relentless attackers. Food and water ran low. Hope dwindled with each passing hour. Yet their will to survive burned brightly, fueled by the love for their families and the desperate hope of rescue. Section 6. The False Truce, a Promise Betrayed. As the siege wore on, a glimmer of hope emerged from the smoke and despair. A white flag appeared from the ranks of the attackers. John D. Lee, a prominent Mormon militia leader, approached the besieged emigrants with a promise of safe passage. Worn down and desperate, the survivors agreed to surrender. They laid down their arms, trusting in the word of their supposed saviors. Children, separated from their mothers during the chaos, were gathered together. A sense of relief, however fragile, settled upon the weary travelers. They had survived the ordeal, or so they thought. Section 7. The Unforgiving Earth. Silence falls upon the meadows. The vast expanse of the American West, with its rolling hills and endless skies, seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the inevitable. The pioneers, disarmed and unsuspecting, were led away from their makeshift fortress. They had no inkling of the fate that awaited them, their trust misplaced in the very men who now led them away. A chilling silence fell upon the valley, broken only by the mournful cries of cattle left untended. The air was thick with an unspoken tension, a prelude to the storm that was about to break. Then the silence was shattered. The sky darkened as storm clouds gathered, mirroring the brewing conflict below. On a prearranged signal, the militia turned on their captives. The air was filled with the sudden sharp sounds of weapons being readied. Men, women, and children were mercilessly gunned down. The valley, once a place of serene beauty, was now a scene of unimaginable horror. The attackers showed no mercy. Their faces, set in grim determination, reflected the cold brutality of their actions. The cries of the dying mingled with the triumphant shouts of the killers, their cries swallowed by the vastness of the valley. The chaos was overwhelming, a cacophony of despair and violence. When the smoke cleared, over 120 men, women, and children lay dead. The once vibrant valley was now a silent graveyard, the echoes of the massacre lingering in the air. Only 17 children, deemed too young to pose a threat, were spared. They huddled together, their eyes wide with fear and confusion, the weight of the tragedy heavy upon their small shoulders. Section 8. Unmasking the Truth, Justice Delayed. The Mountain Meadows Massacre, shrouded in secrecy and deceit, sent shockwaves through the nation. Initial attempts to blame the Paiute Indians were met with skepticism. The truth, buried under a mountain of lies and cover-ups, slowly began to surface. Years passed. The Civil War erupted and ended, overshadowing the horrors that transpired in that remote Utah valley. Finally, in 1874, John D. Lee was brought to trial for his role in the massacre. His conviction and execution in 1877 marked a pivotal moment in the quest for justice, though many other perpetrators escaped accountability. Section 9. Echoes of Mountain Meadows, a Stain on the Land. The Mountain Meadows Massacre stands as a chilling reminder of the dark side of American history. It is a stark testament to the dangers of religious extremism, unchecked power, and the ease with which fear and prejudice can poison the human heart. The massacre left an indelible stain on the land and the collective memory of the nation. It strained relations between the Mormon community and the federal government, further isolating Utah from the rest of the country. The echoes of that tragic day continue to resonate, a somber reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring power of the past. Section 10. Remembering the Victims, Lest We Forget. Today, a memorial stands at Mountain Meadows, a solemn tribute to the innocent lives lost on that tragic day. It serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of tolerance, understanding, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. We remember the victims, not just as names etched in stone, but as individuals with hopes, dreams, and families. Their stories, though brutally cut short, deserve to be told and retold, ensuring that their memory lives on and the lessons learned from their tragic fate are never forgotten. Section 11. The Enduring Legacy. Lessons from the Darkness. The Mountain Meadows Massacre, though a dark chapter in American history, offers valuable lessons for the present and the future. It underscores the importance of critical thinking, challenging dogma, and embracing empathy in the face of fear and intolerance. By confronting the past, acknowledging our capacity for both good and evil, we can strive to create a more just and compassionate world. The Mountain Meadows Massacre stands as a stark reminder that the pursuit of peace and understanding is an ongoing journey, one that demands our unwavering commitment and vigilance.